Hi folks, welcome to goalnews.org video edition May 21st, 2010. My name is Jim Wallace, Executive Director of Gun Owners Action League. Let's get right to the news. We've got a bunch of it for you today. Just this past Wednesday, the House of Representatives suddenly took up the wind sighting legislation and had scheduled for a vote on Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday morning, or rather Tuesday afternoon, which wasn't far before the vote, we found that the House had new language, House 4687. It was previously Senate 2260. The new language in the House is even more concerning than what the Senate passed back in February. It was bad enough that the bill had massive legislation and policy changes as far as environmental permitting and the protection of conservation lands across Massachusetts. Now, one of the problems in the new language is they are moving the permitting process for wind facilities into something the bill calls the Division of Green Communities. Now, Wednesday morning we did a lot of inquiries as to what that division was, and most people in the State House couldn't even tell us that the division existed. What we found out was just in 2008, this division was created, but it has not even been manned yet. Well, the problem that Gun Owners actually has found is not just for the wind sighting, is where this may head in the future. Because under the laws that establish the Division of Green Communities, one of the things it's tasked with doing is, quote, reducing population, unquote, with local communities, municipalities, and governmental bodies. Now, while this may seem a little bit innocuous for some of the things that we're dealing with a wind sighting bill, remember that just 2 years ago, Gun Owners Action League had to fight the Toxic Use Reduction Bill, which named lead ammunition as a pollutant. So whether there's some dots we're connecting here that we don't need to, that remains to be seen, because this could be a very near threat in the future. With that, you also have to realize what this division is capable of doing under this bill with the wind sighting legislation, and then see how the governor is actually trying to regulate our shooting programs and our ranges. Some of the terms that are actually in the wind sighting bill that this new division can use to determine and override local permitting are terms like if the division finds that the facility has complied to the maximum practicable extent with the standards, they can override local communities and push through this siting for the windmills. Now, apply that to anything that we're involved in, and it gets pretty scary. The other scary terminology is if they find the benefits of the facility outweigh the detriments. Again, that's pretty scary terminology when you're leaving it up to a simple division, especially when we don't even know who's manning that division. Other things in the bill, the House bill has totally removed any presence of fish and game, whether it's the department or the division, from the permitting process for these windmills, which really concerns us as far as the protection of the conservation lands and wildlife habitat. One of the other things that we're really concerned with is, in the end of the bill, if this new division decides the benefits outweigh the detriments, or they've done the best they could to meet the standards, it actually says in the bill, with respect to the approval is issued, no state agency shall impose or enforce any law, ordinance, bylaw, rule, regulation, so forth, that would take any action that would delay or prevent the construction, operation, or maintenance of such facility. And the key words are there, any law. Once this narrow division decides a site can go, no one can enforce any law, not just environmental law, any law that would cause a delay in the operation of these facilities. Again, this bill is bad enough, but if you look into the future about how this narrow division could affect us as gun owners and shooting ranges in the future, it's something of great concern that we're going to be watching for days and weeks to come. And I urge gun owners and sportsmen alike to contact their state representatives and urge them not to support House 4687. I don't know if this bill will come up again soon, but it's likely they'll take another try at it. We did stop them this Wednesday. Pretrial detention language. As we get closer to the end of the legislative session, things are going to start happening faster and faster, and with very little warning, bills may come to the floor for a vote. We have been told that possibly next week there may be several bills affecting the pretrial detention language that we've told you about before. Gun Owners Action League will be there at the State House to make sure that our interests are met and respected as far as this goes, and we will try to make sure that no legislation passes that actually puts people in jail without bail for simple possession of a firearm. House 2259, Goals, Civil Rights and Public Safety Act, is still alive in the Committee on Public Safety and Homeland Security. We are aware that the Mass Chiefs Association is supposedly drafting language to, quote, counter our bill, which is rather disturbing that they feel the need to counter the bill rather than support the bill. Hopefully we'll have that language soon and we can brief our members on what the Chiefs are trying to do. The Senate budget is also coming up next week. We've gone through the budget. We haven't seen anything drastic. There was a slight reduction in the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife funding, and we think we can fix that as we go. Also, there is a Range Safety Officer Training Program June 12th and 13th from the Essex County Sportsmen's Association up there in Essex County. And if you want more information about the RSO course, you can go to thegoalfoundation.org to get scheduling and sign up for the course. Also, Women on Target up at the Northampton Revolver Club, June 26, 2010. Again, you can sign up for that and get information on thegoalfoundation.org. And once again, June 19th, there's our big gold banquet. We have Sandy Froman, past president of the National Rifle Association, Matt Light from the New England Patriots, Alan Gottlieb from the Second Amendment Foundation, and so forth are going to fly in for guest speakers. Hopefully you can join us at that event. You can go to goalevents.org to buy tickets. And we have a Goal Spring raffle for various gift certificates for the Kittery Trading Post. And you can go to our Goal store at shop.goal.org to help us out there. That does it for GoalNews.org Video Edition, May 21st, 2010. We'll see you next week.